Hero Club presents Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu. This is Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu. I am one of your hosts, Wheelchair21, and joining me as always is the Janitor Joker.
Yeah.
And this is what now our 22nd episode. We're getting really far, unlike other podcasts I've been on, other shows that Mooch has probably been on, and so on and so forth. And the crazy thing about it is we have one hell of a show, because this was all unintended for this episode to be one hell of a show. Because for our lit list, we got first off, Haruo Nakajima has passed away at the age of 88, followed by our reaction to the Kamen Rider Build press conference trailer, whatnot. And then we're going to have our first ever true, I guess you could say, legit review of Ultraman Powered. So this this is one highway to hell that we're all on. One, we have a death. Two, we have our thoughts on Build. And three, we're going to go into Powered. Or should we say Ultraman, the ultimate hero. And
disappointment.
Yeah, like wow. Just wow. So this morning we discovered, like I said, for our list, Haruo Nakajima, the original suit actor for Godzilla. He was also the suit actor for Baragon, the original suit actor for Rodan, King Kong and King Kong Escapes, Mothra, several freaking monsters in other Toho films, as well as the Ultra series. And just, an iconic role he had as, one of the founding suit members of Toho, in a sense, where he just was Godzilla for literally 28 years, almost?
12 consecutive films.
Yeah. Like, he was just Godzilla for, 12 consecutive films, 25 years of suit acting, or almost 30 years of suit acting, and, now he's gone. He's been to several cons throughout the world, and it's just mind-boggling that it's, over. He's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, it came as a giant shock.
Yeah,
you could tell that he was old. Like when I saw him in Anime Boston, you could tell the ages were getting to him because he needed help walking and stuff like that. It's just more the suddenness of it all.
Yeah, when his wife died, that was out of left field, because for me personally, I thought she had died years ago. I didn't even know his wife was, still around until earlier this year. I legitimately thought she had passed away a long time ago, because a lot of the times when he goes to conventions, it's just his son with him. I didn't know, because a lot of the times we just ever see, father and son.
When did she die again?
Just earlier this year. Just earlier.
It reminds me of what happened with Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash.
Yeah, that's right, because she went first, and then he went a couple of months later.
Yeah.
In the same year. All I can say is, for me, I was really pissed because I've never gotten a chance, and all the chances I've had was one of those technicalities where I couldn't go because of my disability, because no one would be able to take the time off to go with me to go to the conventions that he was at. Because the thing is, I sometimes do travel by myself, but I never travel by myself in the sense of to stop off at a convention for, say, a day or two to experience those kind of things. When I travel, it's I'll go the distance to a doctor, or when I go to a distance to a relative's house, where I'll stop there, they'll see if I need help, if something bad happens to me when I'm there, and then, I'll come right back. But I never go to a place where I'll be by myself, and I don't have really any friends there that could, call somebody if something bad did happen to me once I had gotten to the, the facility, you know what I'm saying? So I was pissed, I was angry, I was depressed. I was freaking losing my mind when I found out this news. This shit kicked me in the dick real hard. I felt so frustrated just at myself and shit in the world, cuz I was wow. Nakajima was that guy. I was I got to meet him. I got to meet the man behind the legend that, got me into Toku. So it's I feel robbed, personally. I feel a little robbed.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
I feel robbed.
I mean, there's only like so much like storytelling and directing can do. You still need to have a performer to be able
Yeah.
to execute a lot of things. And Nakajima brought Godzilla to life. Like
And don't
I
forget
don't
the
think
fact that
anyone could argue that.
And don't forget, we talked about it like an episode ago or 2 episodes ago. It was in the last 5 episodes where we brought up the infamous Invasion of the Astro Monster dance. That, like, because Tsuburaya was like, yo, you can do whatever the fuck you want with the character Nakajima. And he was like, I'm gonna do this. And, like, Tomoyuki Tanaka and, like, Honda were like, no, you don't. I'm gonna do it. And Tsuburaya said, I can. And they're like, why'd you tell him this? Because if you notice, a lot of the times he got away with shit was because fucking Eiji was like, fucking do it.
That's because like Nakajima was like a very team player. He would do anything it took to prove that he could just show to everyone like, yeah, I can go along with this. I can do it. I can do it. Like even if like the task sounded like ludicrous, he would still do it because he was that committed to his like craft.
There is a story that I heard just recently, and it was ironically a few days before he had died. The story of he had epically like injured his back or shoulder during the first Godzilla film or one of the earliest ones, but he secretly only told Eiji that he went to a doctor, and he went and came back the next day after like they supposedly like shot him with like morphine and shit, and still did it
Yeah, I
because he was
remember hearing that.
like he was like it was like just the other day the news broke before he had passed, and was like he went to a doctor. He said, "No, I got to do this. This movie is needed." Like it was, I think, the original one. Like the original one, he's like, no other guy can wear the entire suit for as long as I can. Like they can only wear the cutoff from the first take of the suit they tried, which was too hard to even move. So the guy, if I recall correctly, that was the reporter guy that had the one-on-one with Serizawa questioning if he was a Nazi. He was the guy that they had walking around in the suit in some of the earlier takes. While Nakajima would be in the ones with the close-up profile and upper body shots.
It's just like ridiculous because like that original suit was, oh my god, how did he survive that using that?
Yeah, because it was the heaviest.
Amazing.
The first two were the heaviest in the first film. That's why they cut the one in half, and the second one was used better. Because there was at one point, and I think Takarada once said in an interview, that like everyone on the cast felt so bad for Nakajima that they literally were trying to see if any of the other actors could fit in the suit and do it so they could get more takes done in one day. And Takarada said he tried to get in there, and when he tried to put the head over it, the actual Godzilla head up and over himself, it was just he was so tall compared to some of the other actors that it would not fit him when he was the only, person that could actually pull the weight. Like, they knew he could do the weight, but he could not fit. Like, he was too tight in the suit that they were afraid he would rip it. Like, I heard, like, a story like that talked about, like, the other day. Like, that was another story I had heard, but I don't know how true it is that supposedly Takarada said in some interview that he tried the suit on because he saw how frustrating it was for Nakajima. He was like, fuck this shit, I'm gonna try it. And like, supposedly I heard it was a bet between him and, was it, Arata, or whatever, Serizawa's actor, that he couldn't get in the suit.
I'm not sure. I think it was somewhere on Twitter someone said that like he burned some of his like groin area during Varan.
Yeah, I remember he got hurt during Varan. He got concussed during Radon. He got concussed in Radon, and then he is glad that in the first movie they allegedly, like, the guy, like I said, who was the reporter, shot the early takes of the pool scenes, and he got electrocuted in the pool, and he's like, thank God that wasn't me. And then him and the guy who was also that, weird comedic, like, background reporter in other movies, he was also the second Rodan, I believe. Because I forget if it was him or another actor, because they both said that they both have like several on-screen appearances, either background, and the other one would have more of a bigger role, where he would just be in the background just talking, like in the crowd scenes. Like there's like a weird bullshit where like stuff contradicts, but like that's what I've been told it was. That was in Rodan and the other guy doing the Godzilla suit with him originally. But, he's the one who has the bigger pivotal scene in the film as the monster because he was wearing the suit for a majority of the full body act. That's why he got credited over the other guy. But there is,
Yeah.
footage of, the both of them wearing the trousers, walking around.
I find it, kind of funny how... You remember Godzilla vs. Gigan, his last movie, right?
You mean the movie of hell where literally the suit's just falling apart?
Yeah. But yet, there's some sort of weird, thing to it where, Godzilla makes one final roar into the sun.
Yeah.
That's
I heard that was
the
purposely...
Nakajima era.
Yeah, I heard that was purposely timed to do that way. They wanted it to do that because they knew he was retiring from the role. Whereas, I personally don't think that... This is just me, but I purposely don't feel like that should have been his retirement movie. Like, a part of me feels like when they retire...
He didn't want to retire.
I don't...
TOHO forced him to retire.
Yeah, I don't remember if they forced him or if he chose to, because, that's the thing I've always heard conflicting stories about.
I think Toho forced him, though. I could be wrong, but I remember hearing a lot of people saying that Toho forced him to retire.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Trying to, move on.
I don't remember if they did or didn't, because the thing I feel like is if he chose his way of retirement then, I feel like it was kind of the bad move. I feel like, honestly, a movie like Destroy All Monsters, or even the one that everyone hates, which is, Godzilla's Revenge, were more of a proper send-off.
Weird, because I'm actually okay with Godzilla.
Oh no, I'm okay with it. I am okay with it compared to most of the other people on the internet that we know. But I feel like those would have been proper send-offs, or had he just been able to survive, two more movies, had he been able to, go the full distance, I think...
Him fighting Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, because, a part of me feels like in the Mecha Godzilla movies, that would have been, a real good send-off, too, because especially, when they show him, waddling in the ocean and that, and it's, the send-off to the era. Yeah. It's Godzilla roaring at Japan and into the sky, and then, turns to, leave.
Yeah, a lot of the guys who took over, there's, a bunch of different suit actors that took over during that Showa era.
Yeah,
before
the
they
last
actually found,
three movies, yeah.
Yeah, there were a bunch of different people. And, none of them, all of them were all right, but none of them really captured, the nuances that Nakajima would put into the role.
Yeah, I feel like the guy, because I heard that the guy who did Mechagodzilla and Terra Mechagodzilla was the one who did it, but Megalon had, two different actors in Megalon. Megalon had two different actors, and Zone Fighter had the guy from Megalon. The guy from Megalon is the same one in Zone Fighter, but the one in Mechagodzilla and Terra Mechagodzilla is the same guy, where Megalon and Zone Fighter shared the same actor.
But then Gigan becomes Godzilla in the Heisei era.
Yeah, that's still... But don't forget, my favorite story in his career is, I have the Hedorah suit on, and they can't get it off me entirely. So they did the surgery while I was still in the freaking suit to remove his appendix. You never heard that story?
I don't think I've ever heard it.
Satsuma was still in the Hedorah suit, most of the Hedorah suit, when they removed his appendix. He said that he still had the pants leggings on when they rushed him to the emergency room.
Jesus.
He supposedly still had the suit on, and they were trying to remove it from him while they were rushing him to the emergency room. A part of the suit he wore, inside, I think he said the trousers and the clothing he wore inside was the same stuff, just the boxer shorts and t-shirt on, and he had part of the suspender still strapped to him to hold the suit on when they got him in there. God. And then don't forget, they said they tried to pump him through a shit ton of morphine and other shit, and he found out that painkillers didn't work on him.
I'm pretty sure Nakajima, for a lot of people who are fans of Godzilla, who watched the Showa era kind of first, maybe, perhaps. But those who did, their first hero was Nakajima.
Yeah, that's the thing, is why I'm really more pissed off, because, he was always so happy, even when meeting his fans, even though he barely, knew English, even at his age. He, still, it always brought a smile on him, and I was like, damn, I never get this chance, and I'm like, I hate all of it.
I remember... I had Alex with me, and he was able to convey my English to Nakajima in Japanese, and that was great.
Yeah, no, I wanted to. I'm just sitting here
man. But I'm happy I got his autograph and shook his hand and got to meet him.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here I'm just so pissed. I'm broken.
But Also, there was Akira Takarada, and he was shocked that I owned every Godzilla movie.
Takarada is easily impressed.
Yeah, but he's a nice guy. I mean, he
I
wants to
know, I
marry
know.
Mothra. How can you hate a guy who wants to marry Mothra?
Mucha, we're gonna get into this, and it's gonna lead down a path we cannot talk about on this podcast. It's gonna get somewhere, Mucha. You know, you've seen the notes of Wheelchair's idea script, and it's somewhere borderline what Takarada said.
Yep. Yeah, it's a shame that Nakajima passed away, but you know, he did a lot of great. He's like the great grandfather of Toku. It was just great to like meet him, and I appreciate a lot of his performances.
Yo, you know what's the thing that is still the shocking thing about the original film? Out of like the main core cast, Takarada I think is like the only one alive.
Oh God.
Takarada is like the only, I think, out of the core actors. I think he's alive. Like not even the one who became Yamine's adopted son, I think, is alive, and he was younger than Takarada.
Dear God.
Takarada
that's pretty depressing.
When you think about it, the original Godzilla was Godzilla and Takarada. Now all that's left of Godzilla is Takarada. Takarada is Godzilla now in a sense. He is the last member in a sense. When you look at it,
wait, is this like Highlander? Like once like one dies, he gets all their powers, and when Nakajima died, Takarada got like the Godzilla.
Like
torch pipes down to
it's
him.
Weird. Like when you think about it, now like he is like the sole survivor. Like I think there's like no one left of the main cast. Like I think because what is it? Whatchamacallit died. Like what is it in the 80s or 80s? Shimura died or whatever. The chick who played Emiko died in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Sarazawa died in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, he died before the return 84.
But don't forget, he did do press conferences for the fuck out of that movie. He was like, I'm gonna go out like a G. We need to talk about the lives and deaths of the Toho greats. Look, you know what? We got episode 24, the life and death of the Toho greats.
Man, the mountaintop.
We're going. We're doing it, Mucha. Next episode. But you know what? We got to talk about the next Kamen Rider Build. And Mucha, yeah, something that's somewhat good and bad at the same time. So you tell us about the cast, you tell us about what the story's supposed to be, and we'll talk about that trailer. So let's do this.
Oh man, so you like when we talk about how like the world's like divided into 3 parts because somebody opened Pandora's box and crazy nonsense happens. You want me to talk about that?
Yeah, like because now we have the actual cast. Because now we have the actual cast that fills out like what's supposed to happen. Because we know. You know, the Agents of Smash and etc.
Agents of Smash Brothers. So, Hiro Inokai plays Kento Kiryu. I think that's how it's pronounced. And he is a genius scientist with a very high IQ, but he doesn't remember what happened to him 20 years ago. And he just knows that there's some mysterious figure called Nitro, and he's all like, man, I gotta find this guy. Also in the cast is Eiji Akaso, who plays Ryuga Banjo, who was in the second season of Kamen Rider Amazons, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he actually had a pretty good role in this series.
I haven't watched Amazon season 2 because I have sanity, I think.
Not after watching Powered.
Banjo is a young man who is an escaped convict who was falsely accused of murder. He was looking for the one-armed man that killed his wife, but Tommy Lee Jones wouldn't let him.
Wait, what?
Fugitive. That's the Fugitive, man.
No. Literally, is it the Fugitive they're referencing?
I don't know, but I just made that joke.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But he's also connected to Sento's past. So I guess in speculation is that Ryuga's going to be Kamen Rider Claws, and I guess they're going to like work together, or maybe not work together. I really don't know, because this is a Kamen Rider series. Anything could happen. They could kill each other in the first 2 episodes. I really don't know. Also involved is Kaho Takada, who plays Misora Isuragi. Misori is Soichi's daughter who has the power to purify the evil parts of the Smash Brothers. Interesting of note is Takada was a winner of the female version of Sasuke, or I guess for American fans, Ninja Warrior. So hopefully she gets to do something, right, Wheels?
She better do something if she's won Sasuke, because my god. My god.
To,
that means she's done something Ken Kosugi couldn't. Hey, I'm only bringing him up because he's the only like real Toku actor to get to the final stage.
Oh, she has dark hair, Wheels. I don't know if you know this, but I have a thing for girls with dark hair.
That's like most
Just
Asian
kidding.
women, you idiot.
Oh, well then, I guess I'll think Asian women. Good times. Yukai Taki plays Sawa Takagawa. Sawa is a freelance journalist who investigates the Smash and Kamen Rider Build. Once she finds Build's identity, she works as his informant.
No,
So
she
she's a
wants him to
journalist
get
with-
smashed by Build.
Oh, snap, she's Lois Lane! Kenshi Mikai plays Gentoko Himuru. Gentoko is the head of the Toto Special Forces. He hires Sento to study the importance of the Pandora's books, and is also after Ryuga, because, well, you need conflict in Kamen Rider shows.
Thanks, assholes.
Yuki Ochi plays Shikiaki Utsumi. Utsumi is a personal secretary of Gentoku. He is also the head researcher of the Pandora's books, and also oversees Sento's work, because, again, you need people involved in the show somehow. Yasuyuki Mikawa plays Soichi Isurugi. Soichi is the owner of the Nashita Cafe, and is also Mosora's father. He is taking care of Sento and supports him in his fight against the Smash. That's basically it. But we also got the opening called Be the One, that's played by a band called Pandora, featuring Beverly.
It's weird. So, did you watch the actual video for the trailer?
I did, and I killed myself.
Okay, so here's the thing. The trailer looked alright, but then again, all trailers for Kamen Riders always usually look alright, astonishingly. I mean, they made Ghost look like it was a good series.
I'm decent with Ghost. I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
I hate it after, like, the first 12 episodes. Here's the thing, when I saw it, the whole shaking of the bottles I found a little ridiculous, just to, let's shake, let's make chemistry, let's crank the belt, let's hope Jack in the Box comes out right. And
I don't even get why he needs to shake him. Is he that much of an alcoholic that he needs to shake his champagne?
I don't know, man. Well, like, all I know is when I first saw the actor who's playing our Kamen Rider Build, I thought it was Michi's actor, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Then I realized it's not Michi's actor, and I'm like, boo, you suck. Then I hear him say, oh yeah, my favorite rider is Kabuto, or my first rider was Kabuto, and I was like, God have mercy on us all. Like, I think, what was it? Did I tell you that he liked Kabuto, or did you find out and then come to me, and we were both like, no, oh God, no.
I found out, and I was telling you, and we were both like, no, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready to smash.
I think my favorite joke was the one where I was like, hey, look, Taka Yukari's in it, and they couldn't get her back for Gavin. Why?
Because reasons.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a game.
And at this point, Mooch is like, maybe if she was back, maybe if she actually was back, Geki wouldn't be such an asshole.
No, he's far gone.
He's too far gone. You can't redeem him.
No, you can't. You can't save Geki. The only man who can save Geki is the A-bomb.
Wow, your hate for him is like incredible. Like, wow.
They're very strong.
Like,
very
here's the funny
strong.
thing. Like, I don't even hate him or his actor. I just hate some of the choices they do with his character in the more recent film.
As I said, this is Negamucha. This is like the most evil version of me.
Now,
Which contains a lot of my hatred and sorrow.
Now, here's the thing, people. Had Nakajima not died, we would not have gotten Negamucha right now. I mean,
Yeah.
Powered already started it, but Nakajima was that icing on the cake, man. It was the icing and the cherry on top to bring this side out.
It's
So-
basically I was the Pandora's box.
Kind of. So here's the thing, though. From the trailer, was there anything you liked? Because, like, I'm questionable on it. Like, I think I like the music, and I like the suits, but I don't think. And I think I like the story of the world splitting, but I think they're like as some people that we know on Facebook said, look, great idea, but their execution's gonna suck as usual.
So the thing that got me, which made me go,
Not dealing with this.
was the amnesia plot.
But here's the thing. We haven't really had the amnesia plot too much in the Heisei era, if I recall. I think, what is it, we only had it with Philip and Agito, or was there more? With the main rider.
There were couples that weren't, like, focused on the main rider, but there were some amnesia plots. But I mean just amnesia plots in general. Amnesia plots suck. And this is the exact opposite of what I wanted Build to do. You know how Q Ranger is just constantly, like, it's more of an action-y show, it's more focused on, like, being a spectacle and just visual entertainment?
Yeah.
And that's how I wanted Build to be.
Yeah.
No, Build decided, no, I need to have, like, an overarching mystery and make it a character narrative. And I'm just like, son of a bitch, why? Why, show? Why?
And it's funny, too, because I think that was the same thing we talked about when we heard about the initial news of the story was, I don't want it to be too overarching, what does it do?
Overarching. Because, right, as I said, Ryder has been doing it way too much. And, like, it's never anything interesting.
A part of me feels like this is also loosely to blame because of Kuga, even though Kuga's doesn't feel like it's overarching, but it is.
It could have been Agito, because Agito's was definitely overarching.
Yeah, Agito was more overarching than Kuga was. Like, Kuga wasn't overbearing, but Agito was like, oh no, I'm gonna make it overbearing as fuck.
Agito was a great mystery that no one can ever rewrite because, I don't know, no one
But
can
now,
do...
You know what the greatest mystery is, though, in Tokusatsu? Why did none of the fucking Advent writers ever say, nigga, no?
Because...
Conflict because of conflict, because thanks, assholes.
Yeah. I'm just worried that might happen in Build, because, you know, that's how Writer works. Conflict for the sake of conflict, doing unnecessary actions because, well, reasons. Like, you already had, like, pretty much a great conflict with just saying, like, the world is split up and it's up to Build to, like, save it. But no, we have to have, like, a focus on Build saying, like, oh, he's a smart guy, but he was in a bad situation 20 years ago that you gotta watch the show to figure out what happened to him.
Like, here's the funny thing. At least the scenario in Drive where you find out it was his partner who shot him, like, it was suspected and easy to kind of figure out, but it was still, like, a good one because it was, like, the typical cop drama, like, when they kept flashing back leading up to, like, the, you know, the whole thing that really happened, you're like, oh, shit, this actually was pretty good. Even though it was somewhat still, predictable, but it was still pretty good. Whereas this show, it's gonna be like, it's so predictable, like, in episode 1 level, like, almost like Kamen Rider Double was, with, like, who Philip really was, that's gonna be like, really, you're gonna make us wait, like, 30 to 40 episodes just to find that out, when it was fucking obvious in day 1, because, like, in Drive, you don't meet the partner until, like, maybe 6 or 7 episodes before you figure out, oh, this motherfucker had to betray his own partner, but, like in Double, literally, it's like episode 1 or 2, they talk about, what is it, the dead son, Raito, and you're like, oh, it's fucking Philip.
Yeah, but I feel like Double wasn't really focused on that mystery per se. Like, there are a lot of things going on in Double in terms of just the crimes in Futo, that Philip's, like, identity and who he is isn't just the main focus. There's other things going on.
It's one of those ones where I feel like his thing was, like, one of those ones they tried to throw in the background, but it ended up being, like, one of those obvious ones where it was, like, it was so fucking obvious, why weren't they addressing it?
I see.
But nevertheless, yeah, no, Build, the fact that you say your favorite writer, your first writer is Kabuto, and you act like a know-it-all ass makes me wonder.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. Like, I want to have faith in this show, I do, but then again, I'm like, I kind of don't want to have faith in the show.
I have no faith. I mean, I'm sure there'll be people who like it and they'll enjoy it, and I'm sure it'll be, like, hopefully competently made and not be an epic fail, but
yeah,
it's not really giving me a reason to watch it. I might just watch it just to see, like, if I can get interested, but if I don't, then oh well.
Like, I'm just hoping this doesn't turn out like O's and Forza, where, like, I watch it, but I like casually like just start watching it in batches just so I can say I've seen it but not enjoy it, like fully enjoyed it. And like the
Um,
thing is, I'm hoping like that one bullshit rumor that supposedly got debunked actually does happen. Like about is it Jun Yamaki or Jun Kayama? Like if one of them does appear, I'm gonna be like cool with that. But like if it's just a hoax or something that someone mistranslated, I'll be a little sad. But like it would be cool if it like that hoax got like that people weren't supposed to know they were in there, so they had to retract it because they post something they shouldn't have. But it
Wait,
would be
so
pretty
Nitrogue
interesting.
is actually Hojo? My
Oh,
god.
like no, imagine if both Junes are Nitrogue and Bloodstark. It'd be kind of funny,
Yeah.
And it'd actually be a good way, in a sense, to have at least one past writer, not a main writer, but a writer in general that fought for the side of good, be like a reason to like help build up a character. You know what I'm saying? Because like I feel like they can easily help play off of it because they've had the experience of being the good guy, that they can help mold the good guy behind the scenes.
Hopefully.
Cause like we've seen those tokus where like they bring in a veteran actor or a veteran to the series, and like they can help shape and mold the show. I mean, look at fucking Juoger. They made freaking Kaiksa not a bitch.
I love Keksa.
Or like everything in Sentai. Every time they bring back Yutaka Hirose, yo Hirose, we need you to make a red look good. Aw, don't worry, fam, I'm on my way. Next thing, the Red Senshi looks and sees him standing across from him. Oh no, and he's just sitting there like he freaking, what is it, Yarzan from Mobile Suit Gundam? I'ma violate you. No!
I
But
like
yeah.
how we went from talking about Bill to talking about something better.
You mean Hirose? Everything's better
Yeah.
with Hirose.
Exactly.
Oh god, Hirose shows up and he's a fucking night rogue.
Oh god.
Actually, it'd be cool though. Because don't forget, he got robbed out of a Kamen Rider role because what was it? Corporate told what was it? They told what is it? Shotaro. They're like, nah, we need to find fresh blood. And he looked over at Hirose and was like, sorry, fam, they don't want you. Like, what? I don't remember if it was the company or Shotaro who didn't want Hirose. And I don't know what the full story is, but he was originally in the running for Black, and then they were like, no, we're doing a casting call.
Well, he was also in the running for Red Flash too.
Yeah, that was still.
And
questionable.
he became the villain of
Yeah.
that show.
Yeah.
His rival.
But at least that's good when, like, the runner-up actually still gets a role on the goddamn show. Unlike other series that we
I
know
think
of.
my favorite role of him though is probably Kemp.
Yeah,
from
it's questionable because I feel like Kemp or Lewanda is more of a solid one. Because, what is it, they've had longer appearances than Tronza or Jin. Like,
Yeah.
they're more solid with having him as a character. So, yeah.
Well, like Kemp like causes the entire events of like Lifeman to happen by killing
He does.
their friends.
Yeah, he's a dick. But nevertheless, you know how to be a really big dick? Watching Ultraman Powered.
Oh my god.
We had to do it eventually. And we only have 30 minutes left of the show to do.
Don't worry, it's gonna be short. Don't watch it.
Don't. It's gonna be short. Don't watch.
Oh no, like here's like the synopsis and review
Okay.
of Powers.
Yeah, hold on.
Ultraman
Hold on. I want to make sure, I'm not drinking anything, so I don't do a spit take. Give me a second, damn it. So we can start this goddamn legit review of
Yeah, I'll
Ultraman,
give
the
him a
Ultimate
legit
Hero,
review.
starring Ken Kosugi, and designs by Shinji Higuchi.
Yeah,
Also, don't forget, people. This was actually made in 1990 or 1992. Did not air on North American TV until 1995. After pretty much Kosugi went to Japan and became Ninja Black in Kaku Ranger.
So this was before he became Jiraiya from.
But it didn't air until after he became Jiraiya.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's really weird. And as the story goes, one of the reasons he got this role was due to his prominence because of his family's, history of, being the son of Sho Kosugi, as well as being easily able to speak the English language. And, the fact that Tsuburaya was like, no, we don't want any different race to be an Ultraman. Now, this was not technically Eiji. We don't believe Eiji was going to be, it had to be 100%.
Dead, probably, at that
Yeah,
point.
well, no, he was already dead, but supposedly his son, Noboru, was like, no, we need to keep it Asian. We need to keep it Asian, because that's the same issue that happened when they went and did the Great Ultraman Towards the Future. They had to keep it Asian. So that's at least some...
How are you gonna find
story.
Australian Asian though, really?
I think they got them from like one of the Polynesian islands, but nevertheless, like that's your backstory of what you need to know about this series. It lasted for 13 episodes.
13 episodes.
13 episodes, roughly between 24 to 28 minutes long. So a standard half-hour program. When you cut down opening and credits. Some of the characters you see as the members of the WINR are actually, in a sense, 90s actors you would see on like a lot of 90s TV shows as reoccurring like actors. Like you would see them like probably through most of the shows, but they would only have like maybe 1 or 2 episodes as reoccurring actors. You know what I'm saying? Like they were people that you saw getting consecutively cast as these things. Like their commander Edmund or Edlund was actually like a reoccurring character in Jag. Like that's how like they were like so in a sense like repeating throughout like they were actually repetitive actors that you saw throughout like the 90s and early 2000s.
All right, so like here's like a legit review synopsis thingamabobber. I don't give a shit because my brain is full of bullets because I've tried to kill myself multiple times now. But Ultraman Powered is basically 13 episodes of retelling of the original Ultraman series done in the US with Ken Kasugi as its main character. Done with some interesting suit designs, but shitty action. That's basically all you need to know. If you want to watch Ultraman Powered, just watch the original series. Because it's at least better done.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'm going to state right now. The problem with this, too, is we didn't talk about in the story notes, is originally they had a budget, but supposedly wasted it on people that they couldn't afford, like the Wang brothers and a few other people to design the suits. And so, in the end, they got suits that they couldn't even really move around in, or they got damaged. Like, the actual Ultraman suit itself would tear doing real physical action of, like, throwing a normal punch, a normal kick. Anything that was, like, relatively, like, a regular, average attack would just destroy the suit. So they would either shoot it, everything like of him doing patty cakes and then speed it up to make it look almost normal, or they just gave no effort in the editing whatsoever. Even the displays of the cities are bad. Now, the thing that's sort of good about the series is it does try to treat itself sort of like a reboot to the original series, and sort of tries to at the last minute implement like how certain kaiju were reawakening and occurrences was through the fact that it was really a plot by the Balton. Like, that's one of the only creative things that they really did, aside from how the Dada aren't really aliens, but they're goddamn, like, virtual viruses that are materializing in the real world, somehow foreshadowing Subaraya creating Gridman.
Okay, but first, like, how can Balton plan all this? How?
I know.
It makes no sense.
Like logically, in certain incarnations of the Balton, they're kind of stupid. Like, they're technologically...
How could it make sense if, like, all these events occurred because people found something or just random monster action? Like, there's no, like, actual plot to, like, these episodes of, like, oh, the monster just appeared out of nowhere from, like, a crater, and that's how we know the Baltons did it. No, like, they just found Red King. They just found Pigmon.
Yeah,
they just found these two fucking kaijus in the castle.
Yeah, okay. The episode with Jeffrey Combs is just great because it's Jeffrey Combs, but it made no sense.
Yes.
Like out of nowhere, the Guyana Highlands is like the Lost World, the Jurassic Park, where like kaiju exist. Like, I could see like they're the ones who like contacted the mole people to send out Tesseldon. Like, I could see that. I could see like they're the ones that may have caused Zambola to come out of its underground, and like because don't forget he uses like a comforting technique to get the fire monster to leave. So it's like they probably just like kept poking at it, like, hey, go fucking torture the human world, rah rah rah, and it was like, fine, I'm leaving my cave. And then like certain.
But how
like,
can they plan Dada? Like, that one makes no sense.
I don't think they could plan that one. They did not plan that one. Like, Aberrus and Vanilla, I feel like they just threw the capsules out in the open where idiots would just find them. Like, they just planted the capsules there.
Man, what I would have done from Beyond Reanimator to just fucking do this shit, man.
Wait, the fact that you're bringing up Beyond Reanimator, we don't talk. Wait, was that the second one or the third one that was garbage?
I think that was the third one.
Oh,
that was garbage, because that was the one that was in the fucking jail. Yeah, that was the one from the 2003. Yeah, that's the shit one.
The realization we're beyond, what is it, Beyond the Animator is the shit one or whatever. Or, I forget what it was called. The prison one was bad. I just remember like a penis got ripped off of somebody in that movie.
A head got the electric chair, even though it's already dead, Wheels.
Okay, so yeah, no, okay, so like this is the thing. Like, it's garbage. Like, it's really garbage, mostly due to the action. Like, I feel like the action is uneventful, and I feel like some of the acting is pretty bad, too. I mean, the thing I have about it is, like, I have, like, this weird pseudo-nostalgic feel for it, because, like, I think I did see those episodes as a kid, but, like, I don't have a clear memory, because, like, I remember seeing those designs growing up. So I think it's just that I like Shinji Kikuchi as a designer. Because, I mean, then again, look at the Shin Godzilla design. It's very reminiscent of like, Red King and Aberos, when you look at, like, the grooves and the design of, like, their necks and their faces. Very reminiscent in that style. Which I feel like he did use his, like, you know, art for that to lead here. I think one thing that the show really did do is that I think for the production they did not expect or did not want to, on their first try, actually put a budget in, or what happened was they just gave money to people who didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, they went for, like, this lowball...
That's probably what happened.
Because, like, the idea
it's
of...
very mismanaged.
Yeah, like, it seems very mismanaged, because, like, the idea of wanting to retell the original series, like, to the modern era doesn't sound wrong, but when your suits come out looking great but can't endure the action, you fucked up.
They're just a pretty picture at that point. They're not really...
Yeah, and when you do certain, like, ways of how they did the acting and lead up and events, like, it's one of those series where it's so good to watch because it teaches you what not to fucking do. Because there's just so many things about it where you think it should have been a good show, but it was just utter frickin' ridiculous bullshit that they threw at you. And it's just so discouraging that the in quotations Australian series, because it was produced in Australia, made with a bunch of Australians, but intended to be released in North America, never got a real release in North America, aired on YTV in Canada, is so much more, like, unrealistic. It's just a shock that Towards the Future is such a better show by production standards alone that I guess they learned from all their goddamn mistakes. And it's just mind-boggling. Like there's certain episodes I like, even though it's still ass. Like, there's certain things where it's like, some episodes are good, and majority of them are bad. Like, episode 3 or 2 with Jeffrey Combs is sort of tolerable because you got Jeffrey fucking Combs. Then the episode with Dada is somewhat understandable, but it is still poorly acted at times. And then you got the episode with Aberrus and Vanilla, which is actually alright episode. And then your finale is kind of questionable because it just kind of freaking
Okay,
is.
like, here's the finale. Like, I'm trying to remember the finale. Because...
Okay, in the finale, like, Ultraman has enough strength, finally, where he's able to de-link himself from Kane's character, so the final battle is literally, like, the entire team of Win, including Kane and Ultraman, versus the Zeton.
But that's the funny thing. They don't arrive until after he defeats Zeton.
Yeah.
Which is, like, what was the point of, like, that entire plot point of them trying to figure out how to use, like, his, what was the name of his device?
The
thing that allowed him...
The beta capsule?
Yeah, the beta capsule. Like, they were, like, investigating it and, like, trying to see if they can use it for, like, a weapon to defeat Zeton. But, like, that doesn't happen, and Ultraman just beats him.
Yeah. Like, the thing that's kind of effed up is, like I was saying when you were away, is just that, like, some episodes are actually done pretty well for the standards that they were given, you know what I'm saying? Like, for the budget and the shit that they were given. But overall, it's just one huge mess. Like, they just didn't know. Because, have you seen any of Towards the Future?
Towards the Future?
It's the, in quotation, another American series, but it was mostly made in Australia and aired on YTV, but never in North America.
Ultraman Great, right?
Yeah, Ultraman Great.
No, I haven't. I think
Okay.
I've seen like clips of it, but I haven't seen
Pretty
it.
much the show is somewhat tolerable. Like it has a better budget, and it seems like all the mistakes they learned from this series trailed over. The only issue is Ultraman Great's suit just doesn't look good. And that's the effed up part, is his suit doesn't look that good, but he has the better show.
I think that's like one of the reasons I just don't care about this show. Like I was ranting about like a lunatic. Like that's probably gonna be all taken out and like bleeped out with like a message saying, "We're sorry, we cannot find the message that you have said. Please try again after a brief intermission." But I just don't like the show because I feel like it doesn't really do what Ultraman does best, which was like the special effects and
Yeah.
action.
Like, had they been able to, like, maybe broker a deal with, like, a group that was good in the 90s, like, for TV stations and TV shows, they probably could have done it. But, like, when you look at the way, like, some of the effects are, you literally think they went to, like, New Moon Cinemas or whatever, like, the guys who did Craw and Zakor.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem, is, like,
I also
it's just weird.
I'm not a big fan of the whole Bolton Saging being like the main villain thing. Like I would have like gone with like how like it's actually like as I told you before the podcast, like Tales from the Crypt with Ultraman in it. Like try to approach it from that perspective of just like this episodic formula of like creepy sci-fi action and events, and Ultraman and the humans save the day somehow, like the original series, since it was trying to remake it.
Yeah, like, the original series was still very, like you say, very episodic, where nothing really rolls over except some episodes do.
Yeah.
And it was very weird, because, like, that's one of the flaws about this this series in general, is just that, like, I think I only like it due to how campy terrible it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's because, like, there was so much, like, potential to it, but just fucked up. It's just like, what the fuck?
What would you say? I'm sorry, like I froze for like 5 years or something.
No, I was just saying, like, it's like, I sort of like the show because it's, like, campy bad, where you know, like, it's bad because they just didn't take the time and effort into it, or even if they did, they just didn't manage it right. Like, it's like...
I know it's not probably a fair comparison because I think maybe it's the better show, but it feels like what happened with Ultraman Ginga, where like they didn't really have a time or a budget to really do the things that would have made the show better.
Like,
so
it's
like
best to
like,
explain that like that, because what is it? The original series of Ginga was only 13 episodes, too.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, oh, we didn't have a budget, but we tried to throw something together, and it's like, it's literally just like that. It feels like, because it kind of falls flat on its face, and like, I don't know why Subaraya just didn't think to like go with a real company, because like, I question why. Was it because they just couldn't
I
market
also
it?
question why they didn't really get some of their guys to work on it.
Well, don't forget, when they started doing this was the early 90s, so they were probably too focused in the home base doing, what is it, Heisei Ultra 7?
Because
that
this
was like
before the Tiga came out, right?
This is what?
This was before Tiga came out, right?
Yeah, because Tiga didn't come out in Japan until, like, the series aired in North America, so, like, Tiga aired, what, 95?
95 or 96,
yeah,
somewhere around there.
And this didn't air in North America till, like, 94, 95? So, like, by the time the series was finally done, produced, and finished, which was, like, 90 to 92, Tiga was probably already in production in Japan by the time it finally aired. You see how, like, cluster effy, like, whatever went on was, like, they didn't... I don't think they were really hands-on with this project. I really don't.
It didn't feel like they were, because a lot of, like, the trademarks of what makes Ultraman is just not there.
Because, like, the funny thing is they really wanted Power to succeed, but I don't feel like they thought they could put... But I don't think they themselves put their actual effort into it, which is why it bit them in the ass.
Yeah.
Because had everything worked out correctly, and the show went off without a hitch right as soon as they were done with the first 13 episodes and brought it out in America, because if they were doing it in 90/92, we're done with it, they could have beat out Power Rangers probably and made Ultraman bigger in North America than it became. Because don't forget, like, Ultraman was still known in North America, but it was very, like, cultish.
it's possible that maybe it could have been bigger than Power Rangers. I'm not sure because
Like, I don't think Ultraman could have really been bigger than Power Rangers unless it had a better gap in years. Like, had we gotten more Ultraman in North America somehow, like, even during the 70s or 80s, it probably could have popped off a lot better. But
yeah.
in the 90s, it was one of those times where, like, it was very questionable. And I feel
I wonder,
like...
I also wonder, why, like how much of a input did they say just adapt these stories that we've already told?
Yeah, like,
Because
that's
a lot of the
weird,
episodes are just
questionable
retellings of older, like, from the first series.
Yeah, and you know what's funny, though? I like some of the retellings, just a little bit. Like, some of these retellings I sort of liked in regards, like, for example, finding, like, the kaiju in certain areas where, like, made it feel more natural than more like, oh, shit. Because, like, one of the things that Tsuburaya tried to do later on was saying, oh, no, kaiju have always been amongst us. So, like, by saying that, oh, yeah, like, the Guyana Highlands is actually, like, in a sense, like, where these monsters could be slumbering in underground caverns could, like, make sense. Shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, these big, wide open areas where we might not actually naturally catch a glimpse of it, even on radars, would make sense. But at the same time, it was a little fishy, you know what I'm saying? When you put the dots together in the finale saying, oh yeah, we caused that to happen, it's like, wait, how did you... You know what? Fuck you, Baltan. Fuck you.
But then they just died to, like, other Ultraman balls and everything's all...
Yeah, no, like, that's the thing, is, like, just... But you understand what I'm saying, is, like, at least, like, the effect of certain aspects of the kaiju's existence aren't that, like, in the original series where they're, like, all either mutations or shit. But it's like, oh no, these things actually exist. We don't really see them. We never really got a good look at them. Because here's a funny thing. I actually like I think, episode with Kimura a little bit more than the original one. Because they say, oh yeah, this exact Kimura, we seen it, like, what is it, back in 1977, and we thought we killed it, but I guess it got away.
The one that got away.
So, like, I like that story, you know what I'm saying? Like, that part to its elements, like, certain elements behind the kaiju were a lot better than the original, but the execution was terrible, you know?
Yeah.
It's like one of those, because, like, that's the thing. That's why I like talking about Powered, because it's such a thing to teach you on what not to do.
Yeah, like, when I looked at the suit, like, you could tell, like, it wasn't made for combat. Like, when you look at the up-close shots of the suit, it's like, how that suit is not gonna fuck.
Yeah, and yet it, like, looks very nice. It really does look nice, but you can tell it just...
It's like a good
made.
cosplay suit, but it's not a good action suit.
Yeah, like, they really effed up, because when you can see where the color timer was placed on the suit, like the weird ruffles that you could see on, like, the regular action suit for Black RX, like, around his knees, and, like, his dancer belt area of the, you know, crotch guard of his suit and stuff, like those weird wrinkles that are all over, like, the lower abdomen and stuff, like, you know what I'm talking about, like, how you could see, like, the actual flex and wear. If you could see too much of that all over the suit, you knew it was, like, very weak compared to, like, the more industrial suits that it took, you know, weeks of shooting to get like that.
I feel like maybe they were just trying to focus of, like, I think either Superboy or someone involved was thinking, oh, because American budget is so big, they can just go all out with it.
That's probably why all the kaiju suits are just so, like, most of the kaiju suits are so beautifully done when you look at it. Like, Abris,
like, they're nice
Vanilla,
looking.
the new redesign for Chandra. They're
red
so
king.
nice. Yeah, they're
Nailed
so
it.
nice, but like, so dumb. Like one of my most hated suits actually is Dada, just because, like, they
That
made
one
his hands
is a
too
little-
big.
That one's a little for me, the Dada
Yeah.
suit.
Like, the Dada suit in general is kind of But, like, you know, it's just very weird. I feel like it's... I feel like, really, it happened that they just got a really shitty producing company to work with them, and they couldn't get, like, a real studio or something. Because I feel like... Because I don't even think I even heard of the guys that worked with them, you know? Because, like I said, there's an element about it that I like, and I think it's because it teaches you all the things you need to do correctly to make a good toku, you know what I'm saying? It's a good example of how to be shit and yet sort of try to be good at the same time. But it also teaches you don't be shit so you can be great.
Like, it teaches you not to put too much into the costumes if you're afraid to, and especially in a show where it's about fighting, and you're afraid that they're gonna rip. I would suggest maybe not having those types of costumes.
Like, here's the thing. For people that have never seen Powered, I do suggest that, one should see it just to laugh at it real bad, because it's very riffable. However, like, if you want to see, like, episodes that are quasi-decent, even with the budget and constraints that they have, like I said earlier, the Jeffrey Combs episodes is somewhat quasi-decent. The Aberrus and Vanilla episode and the episode with Dada is somewhat decent, even though the suit is just ridiculous. It's, quasi. Like, you can sort of agree with me, Mooch. Like, the ones I'm listing are, like, some of the more... Like, it seems like they put more effort into those. Hell, even the Pay Star episode looks like they put more effort into that one than they did anything else in the production.
I feel like one of the problems in the show is that it never really kind of went all out like Ultraman did. Like, it never really dived too deep into its mythos. It just kind of felt like standard fare. Like, events happen, blah blah blah. Ultraman comes, the end. Like, there was never really like a bunch of like creative ideas or creative things done. It's pretty much like bare basic stuff. And I would say, it's probably fun to watch for a riff, but it's also like a nice example of just kind of like how productions can go so wrong. Yeah, but like another problem is, like, I think as we said, it's way too damn slow. The fighting, like, it's almost painfully slow.
Oh no, it is, especially when you watch the Dada fight,
like,
or when you watch the first fight.
It's like a slow motion game of, like, as you said, patty cake. It's just like patty cake, I can't even finish.
Yeah, no, it's very. Like I say, like, I think the reason I watch it is because it's like a train wreck. It's like how people can watch that shitty ass movie, The Room. It's like, if you can watch The Room, like, something's wrong with you. But, like, with Powered, if you watch it and you learn something new each time on what not to fucking do, you're good. Because, like, every time I watch Powered, I get a new idea on what they should have done, that I work it into, like, my own ideas for, like, shit I want to do. It's like, oh, they could have done this. Oh, they should have done that. Well, maybe I could do that. Bam, done.
Damn it, Wheels. I was going to make another joke, and I know it's going to be taken out, and I'm just
I know you want to say it. I know you want to say it, but I don't want to put people on blast. No, like, that's the thing, is, like, I learn what not to do since one of my dreams as, like, I guess a young kid was, like, do Ultraman, since, Kamen Rider and Super Sentai is so saturated, in a sense, like, in the fandom. It's so saturated, like, everyone goes, oh, my dream job is to do Kamen Rider, my dream job is to do Sentai, I want to be a Power Ranger. Then I'm like that one niche guy that's like, I want to do Godzilla, or I want to do Ultraman movies. And everyone's like, well, that's ridiculous. And I'm like, well, fuck you, too. Like, that's the thing, is, like, you look at our fandom, it's too niche to Toei. Or at least just Kamen Rider and Sentai. Where I feel like I'm like, nah, I want to do Metal Hero, I want to do Ultraman or Godzilla or Gamera. But, like, the rest is like, I want to do Power Rangers and Sentai and Rider only. You know?
I want to do Suicide.
Well, yeah, I know, because you just watch Powered.
Yeah.
But, I mean, one day I'm going to show you Great, and you're going to be like, ah, shit, this is actually somewhat better than the other one.
No, I'm probably still going to be like, I'm going to go become Nega Mucha again. And
like, I have a feeling, like, knowing you, yeah, you are going to become Nega Mucha watching it, but then you're still going to be saying, how the fuck is this better than Powered, while you're being negative towards it? Like, I feel like it's going to be a double standard the entire episode.
Can we talk about how shit the fight sequences are? When Ultraman flies?
It's so bad, I don't even want to talk about it.
Oh, God.
So, as I was trying to say before I fucked myself up, like, just watching this teaches you what not to do with an Ultraman series, or Toku in general. Especially, even if you are those companies, it teaches you what not to fucking do. Don't get some distributor or producing agency or company to make a series that doesn't even specify in, like, action. Like, you just don't do that kind of shit, you know? Like, Saban was just able to get it right because he had the money and the time to put in the effort, where the studio was like, okay, we're just going to take your money and think we could do it. And then you create ass.
Yeah.
Like, my God. I just... Like, here's the thing, too. I always use the story of Ultraman Powered as the example of what Saban shouldn't ever do that fans keep insisting of. Oh, Saban should just give a shit ton of money to Toei to create him original suits for an original Power Ranger series. And I'm like, no. They're like, why is that? I'm like, you never seen Ultraman Powered. So, like if you watch
it's like you appear in front of like their house and open a door saying, "Allow me to show you the magical world of Ultraman Powered."
Yeah, like the
like
thing
that guy
is,
from Fantasy Island.
Yeah, like it's literally like a measuring stick of what you shouldn't do. It's just like I think that's why I like it. Is it shows you the worst side possible of
what can
official
happen to Ultraman.
Yeah, of just I should just say official Toku, not fan, not indie, official company. This is what you don't fucking do.
Yeah.
Was that good enough of a pot shot by saying official? Anyways, we've shot for our 1 hour and like 10-minute episode amount.
Everything I've said has been removed from this podcast.
Not everything, just the shots fired.
Everything.
Okay, the juicy parts were taken out mostly. Like the shit you probably want to hear if that's what you're looking for in this episode. But I had to be nice since we're technically, in quotations and asterisks, friends with people.
Negamucha isn't, though.
Yeah, Negamucha isn't. Just one of these days,
Like,
I'll release.
He's like the opposite of Gamera. He's like friend to no one.
Like, here's the thing. I'm kind of pissed that some of the raw files got deleted, like of us unedited. Because I'm not gonna lie, I would probably give every time Mucha says something inappropriate as a perk if we ever open a Patreon. Like I shit you not, some of our original raw episodes got like deleted, but the master, edits are safe. You know what I'm saying? Like the final post-production versions, but like the raw files are gone.
That sucks.
Anyways, we're gonna wrap up about now because, like we said, Ultraman Powered, in a sense, it teaches you what not to do, and that's why I said it's okay to watch because it teaches you what not to frickin' do, and it's like a measuring stick. And as me and Mucha agree, it's like that thing of what you shouldn't ever be.
So, like, I guess I would say, like, if you want to watch, like, Ultraman Powered in terms of, like, wanting to watch a good show, I would say you're probably not going to get it from watching Ultraman Powered. Watch the original series. But if you want to watch Powered in terms of, like, watching a train wreck or watching what not to do, then I guess it's worth your time.
But that's the case. Is like I go back and watch it a couple of times just because, like, also, I'm not going to lie, even though, Shinji Higuchi and Anno together create something crazy in Shin Godzilla, I probably could work with Shinji Higuchi if he was just my concept artist and designer for kaiju, because, like, he gives me, like, ideal visuals on how I would want monsters redesigned to give, like, that real grotesque, gruesome, and somewhat realistic, like, idea of being nuclear mutations,
What was the one that had, like, its mouth, like, covered, like, its head covered like a shell?
Oh, you mean Narunga, which was actually, originally by Nakajima in the Showa era.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, how things come full circle.
Yeah, full circle.
But we can agree, most likely next week we will be talking about the rise and fall of the great Toku actor legends of Toho or Toku in general, like the ones
Toho
that we
Legends.
Lost. Yeah, Toho Legends. Next week, Toho Legends.
Better than Marvel Legends because at least ours makes sense.
Okay, that shot is staying in the episode. Unlike Miles Morales.
Never again.
Never again. But luckily enough, eventually we will do Towards the Future, and Negamucha will probably show up, but he will be a contradiction to himself. Anyways, I've been Wheelchair 21. This has been Gender Joker.
Gender Joker, aka Negamucha. Your favorite villain, the best villain of the podcast, but also the worst villain because I do bad things.
Anyways, we'll see you next week.
Guys.
Oh yeah, Project's here.
Yeah, Project's been here. He's just been listening because he's been addicted to Digimon Cyber Sleuth. But we'll see you next time.
Project just says something I have to say.
You're welcome.
Hey, it's Wheelchair 21, and thanks again for listening to an all-new episode of Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu. If you want to hear more content or see more content from the Hero Club YouTube channel, we're going to need you to subscribe, like, comment with some feedback, and share this channel with a friend. We also would like you to check out our website, hero-club.com, and follow us on various social media outlets just by looking up Hero Club for Life, as well as the stores you see are where we shop. Anyways, thanks again, and we'll see you all next time.